All right, so I just wanted to go over this one more time for the people who weren't in the language lesson. So today we read the personal narrative, Grandpa Chaz and Me. And as you are moving into writing your rough copy or your first attempt for your personal narrative, I just wanted to really go over and break down what a personal narrative is. So over here, these are the things we want to continue to remember. These are those main learning goals. So a personal narrative, it means a story about you. It is about a specific time in your life. The story is told through a sequence of events. So it's told in order, taking us through multiple events. And it includes the author's thoughts and feelings. So really looking at this story, there are some things that when we look at all our mentor texts that they all have in common. So we see that they all have titles, and the titles will give a clue about the topic of the story. You'll see that we will use the word I to tell our story. So you will use the word I to tell your story. So when I look at your story, I'm going to be looking to see if you wrote it in first person writing, which means you used I, because it's your story. And the other thing that we noticed, they all have, all these personal narratives, they all used paragraphs to break their story down into different ideas or different sections. So the different paragraphs can, they can organize different ideas. They can also separate the different events in the story. So in this story here, this was the story about Grandpa Chaz and Me. So in the first paragraph, we learn about Grandpa getting some bad news from the doctors and finding out that he's going to need to do more tests. In the second paragraph, we learn about how the boy just had a special relationship with his grandpa, and he talked about some of the things that he liked to do with him. And then in the third paragraph, we find out about Grandpa's surgery, and eventually we find out that he died. So that's kind of at the end. So this paragraph is kind of about how things kind of went from bad to worse for Grandpa, and this is kind of the end of his life, and the author's experience and thoughts and feelings are about that. And then the last paragraph is about the author's brother Chaz, and then connecting Chaz to Grandpa, and kind of adding that nice note at the end how even though Grandpa didn't get to meet Chaz, the doctor did tell him that his grandson would be a boy, and that made Grandpa smile. Okay, so maybe this page will help you remember what the important things are to have in your personal narrative. Good luck and enjoy the writing process. Remember, a rough copy is not perfect. It is not your masterpiece yet. It is your first chance to get your idea down on page in writing. And once you've done that, then the fun work begins where we get to make it better.